What's up guys, Spexstar here today with my first battle for the NPL tournament, and I'm going up here against Eddy, and he's got himself a team consisting of Megalopony, Celebi, Togekiss, Scizor, Suicune, and Hippowdon. And if you guys haven't seen it, I do have a team builder. I should have a link in the description, along with a link to his channel if you guys want to check it out and see the battle from his side. And I'll just do a quick overview of my team. If you do want to see more, again, the team builder. We've got a Mega Venusaur, which is physically defensive with quite a bit of speed as well. Keldeo, which is Rocky Helmet and physically defensive as well. Crocodile is bulky with also quite a bit of speed. Swellow is Specs. Comfey is physically defensive Rocky Helmet, and Eelektross is Assault Vest. So here for my lead, I decided that I wanted to lead off with Eelektross, just to get the slow pivot out, and there wasn't really anything that made me really regret leading off with it on his team, so that is what I'm going to do here. And he is going to lead off with his Hippowdon. I just want to click Grass Knot on this thing. It does quite a bit, and I have the speed invested, so I am just one speed faster than a no speed Hippo. I just want to click Grass Knot, and he is going to eat it very well, which tells me he is very specially defensive, so that's good to know. If he was physically defensive, Grass Knot is to a KO bar the Rindo Berry. I'm going to go to my Crocodile because he got his rocks up and I just wanted to get mine up. I figured that they're worse for him than they are for me, so I'm glad to take that trade. He will Toxic me with his Hippo and go into Scizor as I get my rocks up. So my plan for Scizor is always just to bring in Keldeo on it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Keldeo is physically defensive, and it's very good for me to get this thing chipped down. I do expect it to U-turn out. The Rocky Helmet enables me to punish that. So he'll go for a U-turn there. We'll both take a similar amount of damage as he goes into Celebi. I'm not fully speed invested, and I wouldn't want to stand it even if it was. So I'll go into my Eel, which should eat it as it's an Assault Vest. He goes for Psychic here, does a decent amount of damage. I believe that was Timid 252. I don't remember the calc exactly, but I think that was potentially Timid 252 if I'm not mistaken. And I just want to click U-turn. It covers him staying in, it covers him switching out equally. He's actually going to go for another Psychic, which was curious to me, as I'm going to be able to U-turn out. So here, the fact that he clicks Psychic twice, and based on the fact that he's not very bulk invested at all but on the U-turn, tells me that he could very likely be Scarf, and if he is Scarf, I can't go into Swallow there. So what I want to do is go into my Crocodile here, and I'm going to scout if he's Scarfed. If he is Scarfed, he'd probably want to switch out here, of course, and if he isn't, he may just opt to go for a Grass move here, or he could. He should know that I'm leftovers by now. At least he's seen rocks, so he knows that I'm not going to be Scarf. So if he isn't, he may just opt to go for the Grass move here. And as I scout for that, I'm just going to go out into my Venusaur. That's my play here. I will go out into my Venusaur here, and we'll see if he wants to stay in or go for an attack. He will actually go for an attack here, so he's not going to be Scarfed. That means he's probably Z-move here, and I'm just going to sack up my Eelektross so I can now bring in Swellow in on it. And he will go for a Shattered Psyche here, of course, to hit the Venusaur. Psychic not doing quite enough damage to take it out. I'll bring in my Swellow here, and I just want to click my Boom Burst, which kind of jacks up whatever he wants to bring in. He'll go into Hippo, and Boom Burst is a solid 2 a KO on that because Swellow is just a nuke, even on a specially defensive one. Hippowdon's going to go down here, and we'll be off to a 5-5 start. Here he brings in his Megalopony. My answer to that is always Comfey. I can synthesis up with priority on the thing, and it gets whittled down by my Rocky Helmet. He will go for Power Up Punch here, which still I'm not in range of the thing, so I'm just going to go for my Draining Kiss on it. He actually goes into Scizor, which is going to eat that comfortably, but I'm still getting chip on that thing, which is very important for me. I'm thinking about a scenario where I can win with Comfey, and that involves getting Scizor chipped, which is why I'm going to bring my Keldeo in here on his turn. He's getting very low, which is very nice for me. And he's now going to want to bring in his Togekiss. So I definitely don't want to let Keldeo take an air slash. I would just want to go into Crocodile here, potentially try to trade it for Toxic off on that thing, and that's where my head's at here. And as I go into Crocodile, he is going to go for his... Wait, I gotta let it get caught up. He's actually going for Nasty Plot, which is a little bit frightening. I need to try to get in range of my Swallow. I'm gonna go for a Toxic here in an attempt to work towards that. He's gonna go for an Air Slash. Since my Crocodile is so bulky, I am able to take that. And my best move to attack it is just the knockoff, which I'm gonna go for here. And I will knock it off. And unfortunately, he's got the Heal Bell, which means that based on knockoff damage, I found out that this thing could potentially be a timid set invested in speed and invested in special attack. That is a possibility. And if it is, Boom Burst needs a very high roll to be able to take this thing out. If it even can. It was either a high roll or close to being able to with a high roll. But either way, I have to go in and Swallow. If I'm not able to take this thing out, I can at least put it in range of Keldeo or potentially Comfey, depending on how much it does. I will go into my Swallow, and I will click the Boom Burst, and I'm going to find out that he actually has quite a few EVs in his special defense stat, which is good to take note of. So I have to go out into my Keldeo here to be able to take it out with my Hydro Pump, which I will do. Fortunately, that move lands, because if you've played competitive Pokemon, you know that is not a given. He's going to go out here and do his Lopunny, and I'm just going to go back into my Comfey, which is my designated answer to this Pokemon. He'll go for Return, do quite a bit of damage. I'm just going to want to Synthesis up, thinking he would want to save his Lopunny there. He will go to Scizor, and I get Comfey up to a good deal of its health, but not all the way. And, you know, I have to explain this turn a little bit. He's going to bring Scizor in, and I'm going to, instead of switching out, I'm going to Synthesis back up to full. And my thought process was that every time he's had Scizor out, I've went hard into Keldeo. So I think that he wouldn't, I think the last thing he'd want to do here is actually click a Steel move, which kind of just screws it in and lets me get Keldeo in, lets Keldeo put on a little bit of pressure. I think that'd be the last thing you'd want to do. So I'm actually just going to click Synthesis again, and he is going to go for his Bullet Punch, but Comfey is able to take that well enough that I'm able to just synthesize up. I'm going to find out after that he's Scarfed, so he is not having a boosting item, and he's going to be Jolly, and that's why Comfey is able to take it so well. So here he's going to have to switch into a Suicune to save his Scizor. My thought process here is that this might be my chance here. I see Suicune come in, and unboosted, it doesn't do that much damage. My Comfey has quite a bit of speed, and I was hoping to outspeed Suicune, but if Suicune is max speed, then I will not be outspeeding it. So I'm gonna click my Taunt here to prevent it from clicking Toxic, to prevent it from clicking Calm Minds itself, and hope I am going to be faster. And I will be faster with the Taunt, and that's going to be very key. He's going to go for Toxic, that will not work out, dodged a bullet there, and I'm going to start setting up my Calm Minds. And you guys know what happens when Comfey starts setting up its Calm Minds. He's going to go for Scald, but I am just able to keep clicking Calm Mind because that is not doing enough damage. He goes down to Scizor, but that is very much in range of Draining Kiss, and that thing is going to drop down. So here he is going to go right back into his Suicune, and I'm just always going to taunt that thing, never giving it a chance to get a Toxic off. He's going to go for Scald, I assume fishing for some sort of crit, or potentially crits multiple. I'm just going to go for my Calm Minds because I need to get to the point where Draining Kiss is doing enough. I don't want to keep clicking Synthesis and risking getting a crit. So here I will go for a Draining Kiss just because it's healing up more than his Scald is doing. And I didn't want to continue setting up and doing passive things when this thing does have a chance to crit. Of course the taunt's going to wear off, I'm going to re-taunt it. And you know, this gets a little bit boring with Comfey versus Suicune, but I'm going to Draining Kiss, taunt, Draining Kiss, taunt, Synthesis there, taunt, Draining Kiss, Draining Kiss, Draining Kiss. And then the Suicune will go down there, bringing it down to Comfey versus Lopunny and Celebi. And Celebi is going to be very weakened, and I'm able to take that out with my Draining Kiss here, leaving it down to just Lopunny. And of course, after the fake out here, Comfey will be able to take it out with my last Draining Kiss. So I'm going to be able to win this battle 3-0. GG to my opponent. It started out as a very close game. He definitely won some turns earlier, which kind of put me in a little bit of a tricky position, especially having to land Hydro with Keldeo. But Comfey just had an awesome matchup here, and Taunt was able to stop things, which would have ordinarily been potential answers to this, like Togekiss, like Hippo, like Suicune. And with, fortunately, Scizor not having any sort of boosting item, I was able to force that thing out with the Comfey. Rocky Helmet coming up clutch. That is a busted item. Tell your friends this matchup, put that on display. And yeah, that's going to be our first battle here. So we're going to start off 1-0 +3, which is definitely a good start. And I just want to hope that I can continue it through the rest of my run here. So again, in the description I'll have the team builder if you want to check it out and see why I brought what I brought, because I do have a little bit of a weird build here, and I will have his channel if you want to check out this battle from his perspective. I want to thank you guys for watching, and have yourselves a good night.